All right. Good afternoon, everybody. JT back with you this afternoon in the studio. Studio 10-4 live. It is the weekly update for July 8th, 2026. This is the only one you get. Tomorrow it's the 9th and the 8th is over, and we're on to the next one, man. And it's this year is flying by. I hope you guys are doing good today. It's been an interesting day around the studio, around the Cyclone studio as it is. Perks of living in a situation like I do, which is a 45-foot Cyclone RV, is when the power goes out, generator comes on. And we've had power out now for over an hour, and it's estimated it's going to come back on around 7 o'clock tonight. So we'll see. Doesn't matter. Generator works great. Air conditioning's on. I'm talking to you. Everything's working. So, love it. It's a good thing. Dan, it's probably going, yeah, shut up. I don't want to hear it, because he does not have a generator, and his power goes out as just sort of a religious thing where he's at. PG&E guilty of probably causing most of those outages just for whatever reason. And he's just, yeah, kind of maybe. So anyway, I got a great show for you guys today. It is our cover feature show. Want to thank Evans Detailing Polishing. When it's time to look fine, it's always time to shine. Get a hold of Evan and all of his guys and use his products to make your rig look the best. And it does. This stuff works, man. So I'd like to get some. In fact, I think I still have some, and I would like to apply it to my rig here and get that gel coat looking better, because it's starting to get kind of blah. So I'll probably get after it. Also want to thank our friends at Pittsburgh Power, and of course, Max Milage is the product that they put out there for everybody to put in their fuel tanks, whatever gas, diesel, you name it, whatever you're burning in a combustion engine of sorts. Pittsburgh Power, Max Milage. And this stuff is a great product. I've talked to these guys over and over and over again about it. They invented it. The scientists that made this stuff is on staff. It's not some thing that they buy from somebody else that makes it, and it's somebody else's thing too. It's theirs, and it's theirs alone. So give them a shot out there, guys. Pittsburgh Power, Max Milage, and of course Evan Detailing and Polish. All right. So this month is special for a lot of reasons. Obviously, July 4th. Every year, it's, that one holiday where we get to break out our patriotic selves and go have some fun and be Americans and celebrate our country. And this is also a special occasion because it is the 250th birthday of our country. And therefore, we kind of have a compounded deal going on here. And this month, we have done something very special with 10-4 Magazine, and it has taken on a very patriotic flavor. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been, but there is the Facebook cover photo of our current cover feature cover truck, 1970 Mac, and in its full glory, stars, stripes, and it is that's original paint, man. So we've got some folks that are going to walk us through this truck, what it was like to do this shoot, some other things that I'm going to bring in that I think will be kind of fun as well. One of them is I started looking around going, okay, 1970, what possessed Mac to make this happen like this, and what was going on in 1970? So I looked up some things, and I wait till you guys hear what I've got to share, man. I'm telling you, it's going to make a few of you probably freak out. I mean, there's some things that were going on that you're like, what? And 1970, really? And I didn't realize it. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I didn't even know or care back then because I was not that old. So I was 1970 shoot. I was 8 years old, I think. So wasn't exactly a time of awareness of what was going on in our world, really. I was probably more involved with, can I go out, play with my friends, ride my bike, go swimming, all those kinds of fun things. But I'm going to bring those things around. Right now, I'm going to bring our editor, owner, original guy of 10-4 Magazine, Dan Linss. Hi, Dan.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy July. Here we are.
Here we are, man. July 8th. It's already God dang it! I don't know about you, man. My clock is accelerated. How about you?
I think it's just getting old. Not us, not the clock.
Oh, us, not the
Yeah,
clock.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we do, by the way, clarification, we do have a generator. It's just not as efficient and good as yours. We have to wheel it around and turn it on and set it up, plug everything in. But it's also been in the TFK trailer since the show. So if we did have a power outage, we wouldn't have one right now.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing about this situation right here is that I do not worry about power outages any longer. And this is a good thing because I get to run my gen set, put some hours on it, a little bit, just part of the process, right?
Yep.
And we're on a well, so I'm running on my own water and the whole 9 yards right now. So kind of cool. Want to take a second and say hello to everybody that's in the audience right now that I can see. I got Siebes in there, Miss Shannon, Eddie, Mike, Okie Dan, dude. Nice job on the truck, man. Nice job. That came out right. Dougie, what's going on, buddy? April, how are you? And anybody else that's watching that we can't name because I can't see you. Thanks for tuning in. And then everybody on the playback. Appreciate you guys tuning in, watching after when you can. July 2026, special edition of 10-4 magazine, man. I mean, this thing just screams patriotism. It screams America. It says we love our trucks and our country. And Mac was way ahead of the curve, 1970, right?
Well, yeah, Mark can give you a little bit more on that when we get into those details. But yeah, they started offering this scheme in 1970, kind of getting ready for 76 and just being patriotic, being a Mac. But this 74 here, I mean, you could get this scheme apparently on anything, a Superliner, on other truck, any Mac you ordered, you could order the All-American scheme. And from 70 through quite a while, even after 76. So you'd think there'd be a lot of them out there, but we had trouble finding one original one. This is the one we found. And
So I'm sorry, 74. Our truck on the covers is 74.
Yes,
and so 70s when the paint scheme came out, but 74. Okay, got it. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry. All right.
But, we went on the hunt, and I have to, I mean, obviously this is a really special edition, and, we don't do themed editions. Over the years, people have said, or I've even thought about maybe, hey, we'll do a cab over edition and we'll do a couple this or that. And we've kind of kicked that around. Or maybe one month we just happen to have 3 cab overs. That's the cab over edition. But this one, really thanks to Mark Harter bringing it up 8 months ago, that we maybe should do something. Before anybody was talking about this 250, it wasn't even in my brain. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But then as it got closer, it's like, yeah, we really need to do this. And so we worked a good 6 months collecting different trucks, to feature, finding out where they were, talking to the people, attaching contributors in their area to go shoot those trucks and do different things, and kind of getting all the writers on point to start thinking about what their take on this anniversary might be. I was really worried about it. I thought, we're going to have 12 stories that are all exactly alike. And as it worked out, I mean, we didn't at all. I mean, the trucks were different. The stories were different. Everybody sort of took a different angle on their own. And we didn't have to adjust anything. Everybody kind of, I don't know, we got lucky, whatever. But I think of the 15 stories in this issue, 12 or 13 of them are some sort of patriotic theme. There were a couple show reports that weren't. But other than that, everything was. And I didn't think it was going to be that heavy and that hardcore, but everybody just kept coming through, and we just kept finding stuff. And, even Clint got into it with, when that Freedom 250 truck got introduced. And I said, hey, why don't we do that that'll fall right in step. And he went to his bosses at Peterbilt and said, hey, can I order one of these? And they said, yeah. And actually he's ordered 2 now. So it even made more sense for Clint to do that story, because if somebody wants to buy one, they've got 2 coming, one of them even with a special sleeper that you can't get anywhere else. He made a special deal with Peterbilt because that's Clint. Yep. And so he's going to be getting one with a shorter sleeper, which they were not offering. So that might be a one-off. So if anybody's interested in that and they want a new 589, anyway,
This looks like something Dennis would be driving, don't you think? It looks like a Dennis truck. I think they should give Dennis one. Dennis, what do you think, buddy? I think you need one. I think they ought to give you one of these, buddy.
He probably wouldn't take it. Well, he's a smart guy. He'd take it and then sell it.
Yeah. Well, and this one was what I wanted to show too. I mean, you scroll down the cover page here, the homepage on our website, and oh my gosh, it's red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. It's just fireworks. I mean, yep. Everything on there is just all about what's going on here, man. It's time to celebrate. Yep. Time to celebrate our country, our patriotism, and who we are. We're Americans. Everybody, we're all Americans. So
everybody stepped up pretty good in it. I think it turned out really well, and it was fun to put together. It's kind of different to have a complete theme, and then the last 2 or 3 months as this anniversary was approaching, things really ramped up. I mean, everybody was getting into it. I mean, this was a pretty good 4th of July. I mean, around the world, or at least around our world, it was huge, and everybody was celebrating, and it was a big deal. And, nothing heinous happened, which was good. I was a little worried that something might. I'm sure everybody was, but yeah, it just was pretty cool. So I'm glad we could be a part of that. There's no way we could have just put that together quickly. So again, Mark suggested it way back in 2025, in late 25, and we just kind of ran with it as the new year started. So a lot of credit goes to him.
Well, we'll bring Mark out in here in a minute. I want to just kind of touch on these, and I went to 1970 because it was when this paint scheme came out, and that was what my curiosity was peaking on, was why did they come out with it? And honestly, I didn't see anything really that said we were in a real, patriotic cultural renaissance where, things were kind of exploding in that direction. Mack Truck just did what they did. I'm sure they had their reasons why. But listen to a couple of things that were going on in 1970. And this, of course, is, this is search engine regurgitation. So it is what it is. But life in 1970 was defined by a slower pace and a distant lack of digital technology. Oh, darn.
I don't think it even existed then.
My dad was as close to technology as I got, and he used a 10 key because he was an accountant, and it was ching, 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 and then cha-chong, one of those kind of deals. Without personal computers or the internet, daily communication relied heavily on landlines, letters, and face-to-face meetups. People navigated using paper road maps, right? Drivers, we all know that. And families gathered around a single television set with probably 3 channels. If you were living large, 2 mostly, but some of us had 3. Yeah. Day-to-day rhythm of 1970 was slower and decidedly analog, without digital calendars. So everybody had a calendar or multiple calendars hanging on the wall, right?
I still do.
You know what? Yeah, I don't in here, but I used to, and I don't in here, and I just don't have the room. No social media. Connecting with others. Yeah. Connecting with others meant dialing a rotary telephone, writing letters, or simply showing up at a friend's house. What a concept, man. You do that now.
Remember trying to get into the radio show and you're doing your dial, the 10th caller.
Oh yeah. Good, Dan. That's awesome. I lived that, man. It was a 10th caller wins, whatever. And that's so true. Finding information required a trip to the library or consulting a set of encyclopedias at home. How many of us had encyclopedias? I mean,
how many have them now? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody. Books. It's like, what? Books? Are you kidding? We're lucky 10-4. We got 10-4, man. That's who we got. So we got 10-4. Photography involved using a 110 or Polaroid camera and taking film to a local developer to see how the pictures turned out. Remember those days?
That wasn't that long ago.
Well, for 10-4, for you and Eric, you guys were using film up till when?
Probably about 2002.
Wow.
2001 maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, how much film did you go through to get where you wanted to be? How much backup and security? How much security did you put out there?
A typical photo shoot for the cover was about 300 pictures. So what'd you have? 24 pictures in a roll. So
Something like that. Yeah.
12, 13, 14 rolls.
Wow. And the cost of developing and processing and on and on and on.
And then when you picked one, you took it back to the lab and they blew it up to an 8x10.
Yeah.
For the cover or whatever. At that time it was just the cover, but it was a big process for sure.
All right, a couple more things, and then we're gonna get our guests in here. Music culture revolved around the radio, especially the American Top 40 with Casey Kasem, vinyl records, and
that's mentioned in this edition.
How about that? There you go. Families frequently sat down for home-cooked meals at the dinner table, and popular foods included convenience-driven TV dinners eaten on TV trays in the living room. That was a splurgy thing to do. That was a bougie thing to do.
Yeah.
TV dinner on the TV tray, right? Yep. Now it's like, what? No, nobody does that. This is the thing that got me, and I was blown away when I read this. The early 70s was an era of profound social economic change. And it was. We were coming out of Vietnam. Guys were coming back to the country. The economy was changing. While public university education was highly affordable, it was until afterwards. Many fund degrees through part-time work, and society also grappled with significant social inequities. Women faced severe limitations, such as being legally unable to obtain credit cards without a husband's permission.
1970, wow. Not that long ago.
Yeah, 1970. Holy mackerel, man. Anyway, so there's probably a lot of other stuff that some of us would have that was sort of a standout in 1970. For those of us that were around and conscious at that time, and Mac obviously was, and here's what they brought out, this amazing truck that's on the cover of 10-4 magazine this month.
A fun fact that Mark brought up in his story, if you read it, was that the country's celebrating 250 years. Mac has been in business for 125. That's half of the country's life. That's a long time.
That dog's been running for a long time, man.
Yes, sir. Kind of cool.
Well, let's bring him out. By the way, I do have Sonya, who shot this in the green room as well, and we're gonna bring her out too. But right now, Mark Harter, how are you, Mark?
Hey, Mark. Hey, John. Am I caller number 10?
Yeah, you know what? Caller number 10, you're a winner. Hey, all right, you get the 2 tickets, and just come on down to the station and pick them on up.
Perfect. Excellent. Sounds great.
Drive on down there, Mark.
Yeah, right. Everybody stay home. Mark's on the road.
Maybe I get a Dan Linss come pick me up and give me a ride, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we did get a hold of Sonya, and we've got her in the mix here. I'm going to bring her out in just a minute, but wanted to get your take on some of what you did here with this truck and the setup to get this thing done and get it in and on the cover.
Well, this thing's got a story, actually. Well, first of all, you're talking about 1970. Why Mac did this paint scheme? It was actually to the build-up to 1976. And according to Doug Maney, when I was talking to him, he's the curator of the Mac Museum in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mac brought this paint scheme out to symbolize Mac as the all-American truck. And the paint scheme is referred to as the all-American Mac paint scheme. So that's a little history on the paint and why the paint scheme is the way it is. And it's why, she's dressed in Old Glory, like the truck. You can get that paint scheme on everything from fire trucks to cab overs to the conventionals of the time. So it was available on everything from, garbage trucks to, like I said, fire trucks. It's pretty amazing. As to getting this truck, well, basically it started like Dan said. I approached him, last year and said, hey, we got 250 coming up. This would be kind of cool. We'll do something special. A lot of patriotic trucks over the years, from, the Kenworth Bicentennials to Liberty Editions to the Peterbilt Patriots to America trucks, etc. And one truck that popped in my head when I was thinking about this was, the All-American Max, and I hadn't seen one in years. So I contacted a friend of mine and said, hey, you know any of these trucks around? And so we started looking, and I found like 3 of them. And one of them had a wrap on it, and that wasn't going to work. Yeah. And then the other one I couldn't track down. I think the owner had passed away, so we didn't know where the truck was at or who owned it. And this third one, which I initially blown off, was all the way up in Quebec, Canada. And I'm like, that's a long way to go. I'm like, and Dan's like, yeah. And so I kind of ignored that truck at first, but then when it came down to it, that there's none of these trucks existing anymore, pretty much. And this is kind of our only option. I contacted Jeff Malo, the owner up there, with the help of a friend, and that's how the whole thing got started. And I showed Dan some photos of it, and he loved the paint scheme, thought it was cool, and we kind of rolled with it. And we didn't know what we were going to do with it. It was just going to be a feature story or a cover story or what it was going to be. We were just putting this patriotic issue together, and it ended up being that was the truck. What screams more all-American than a Mac dressed in the American flag, right?
That I tell this story so many times, but my dad used to give me crap because, I drive and whatever I drove, seemingly it broke. And his analogy was always, what do you think you got there? A Mack truck? Well, lo and behold, I eventually bought a Mack truck and drove a Mack truck. So I drove the crap out of it, and it had a Detroit in it. And if you didn't, just slam that shifter into the next gear as hard as you can and mash the throttle, you weren't driving it right. So it all worked out.
Nice. Well, this truck, I know it's got a 300 Maxidine in it with I think it's got a 5 and a 2 with a 2-speed Brownie box. It's a heavy haul truck, like the article says. And, the owner was a very patriotic man, Elvis Baker, a heavy haul specialist out of the Phoenix, Arizona area. Truck's got a neat story and a neat company. As I was talking to those guys, they really, the one thing that was a common theme was how patriotic Elvis was. He was a turret gunner on a B-25 Mitchell in World War II, and that was absolutely fascinating to me. And he served 87 missions, I believe, in the Pacific Theater, successful missions, which is pretty amazing at the time.
Well, I read about 3/4 of the story, and then I kind of went Evelyn Woodhead down the rest of it, just to try to kind of get some facts on it. But the big standout for me
nobody knows who Evelyn Wood is, John.
Evelyn Woodhead, Evelyn Woodhead, sped ridden course. Cheech and Chong, man, come on, some of us get that. Anyway, the things that stood out to me about this truck and what was going on here, all about heavy haul. These guys were doing some big loads, and yeah, the Mac was the notoriously heavy duty, haul anything anywhere, not look very pretty doing it, but get it done, and guaranteed it will always get you where you want to go truck. It was just that way. Well,
Macs are, built like a Mac truck, and, we always kind of compares that. It's like, pop culture, nothing's tough as a Mac truck. And, one neat fact about this issue, I think Dan was telling me, we were talking on the phone a while back. Dan, and you can tell our watchers, listeners, I think this is only the second time you said a Mac truck has been on the cover of 10-4 magazine, correct?
There hasn't been that many. Definitely less than 5 in 33 years. I can think of 2 or 3. That's about it. So not a lot. No, not a lot.
We'll have to go back and look at that. And in fact, for tomorrow, I'll go back and see what we've got on the covers, going back online, and what I can look at and see.
I'll have to find you some, because there's some pre-online.
Okay. Yeah, please do. That would be cool. I'd love to share that. Listen, guys, I don't want to let our young lady feel like she's not part of the club, so I'm going to bring her in, everybody. Hi, Sonya.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, how are you doing?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but it is 8:30 here, so good evening for me.
It's got to be evening. So we've got how many time zones covered here? I think
I'm Central.
Central, yeah. So Eastern, Central, and Western, or West Coast. So we're Pacific Standard. We're all covered pretty much.
So for everybody watching, the challenge was, how are we going to get this thing shot? It's up in Quebec, and
we're
running out of time.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, probably should have told that part of the story here. I mean, I happen to be talking to Mike Gaffin, the Boston trucker, many of you guys know out there.
He's on.
Yeah, he's on.
Yes, he is.
Say hi,
Hi,
Mike.
Mike.
Giving Mike a shout out there. Thanks for listening. And I happened to be talking to Mike one day, and I jokingly asked him, I said, you know any photographers up in Canada? I'm trying to get this Mac up there photographed. And he said, as a matter of fact, I do. And I was like, really? And then he said, you know who Sonya Messier is? And I said, yeah, kind of. And he was telling me about her. And next thing I know, here we are. He introduced me to Sonya, and we got it done. So,
By the way, happy 4th of July. And what is very funny coincidence to have a person from Quebec, Canada to shoot that truck, right?
Well, I mean, we were celebrating our anniversary and we ended up with a Canadian Mac. There is some irony there, but it spent most of its life in Arizona.
But back up a
Yes.
minute. Canadian because it's up in Canada and owned by Canadians now?
Yes.
Not
correct.
Yeah. So did we look back and see what the tag in the cab said? Was this built in Hayward?
This is a Hayward built truck. Yes.
It is a Hayward built. Awesome.
It is a West Coast Hayward built. Yeah, it's an RS700L. It's got the West Coast grill. Those were only built and available out of Hayward. So the East Coast trucks never had that hood option.
My Superliner, my 80 Superliner was out of Hayward, California. And I mean, I had 2 trucks built on the West Coast, a Peterbilt and a Mack. And both of those plants obviously long gone out of California anyway. So
Smart.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You got to go where you can make money. So Sonya,
anyway, the road led us to Sonya, and who was kind enough to allow us to help get in touch with them and put her in touch with them and set it all up and go and do it. And she had all her own fun challenges on the shoot and weather. And I mean, everything wanted to say this wasn't going to happen, but we persevered. She persevered and made it happen.
I've been doing this for like almost 20 years now, and there's some stuff that are still new happening on photo shoot, and this photo shoot was really funny. Well, first of all, when I got there, you got to know that Jeff and Alex are both very super nice people. They're the complete family, by the way. They welcomed me like if I was queen. The truck was almost ready, and the reason why it was almost ready is you got to know that these guys work 7 days a week. Actually, Jeff is not with us right now because he just wrote me, said, well, I'm still at work. So it is how they roll. They work all the time. And they actually had this truck for quite a while. If I don't recall, Mark, but I think it's last year they got that truck, right?
They got it in 2023, I believe. So it was when they got up to Canada, it came out of customs.
So what happened is literally they got the truck and it was sitting there for a while. So they didn't change the fuel in it. And I was coming in and I was like, me with my big ideas. I'm like, we're going to shoot that truck at the farm. And then they said, we're going to go at the airport. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Let's go at the airport. And I got there and they're like, yeah, do we really need to bring that truck on the road? I'm like, yes, we do. And then he said, could we maybe? And I'm like, well, your location here looks great. It's amazing. It looks like very vintage, old garage doors and stuff like that. And it really matched the truck for me. So I said, well, I can do a big part of it here directly at your garage. And maybe after we can go on the road. And they were like, yeah, well, we don't trust the truck because it still have the old fuel in it. And it actually doesn't have a license, so maybe we could stay here. And I was like, okay. So that was the first thing because, as a photographer, I always look at, they asked me, what time do you want to be there to take the pictures? So I'm looking light direction, sun direction. Are we going to do sunrise? Are we going to do sunset? And I got everything planned for the airport, for the farm. And I get there and I'm like, boo-hoo, that's not going to happen. We're going to shoot here. And like, yes, but the sun is not at the right, not in place. Like I don't have any sunset. I don't have what I wanted. but we made it work. And the funny part was, at one point I was doing the portrait and I was like, gosh, it smells really like something is burning, but it's not wood. Like somebody's making a fire, but I don't know what they're burning. It smelled really funny. And so the guys were just like in front of the truck, and suddenly I could see the smoke coming out of the grill. And it was like, oh, the truck is on fire. And they just stood there. I'm like, please just like open the hood, do something. And what happened is I had requests the light to be on, and the plastic, or I don't know how to call it, like something on the wires.
Yeah.
The
Installation,
internet, they kind of connected or touched each other, and at one point it burned, and then the smoke just started to come out. It was quite a. We had to stop for like a good 15 minutes just to make sure that everything was okay. So, but beside that, it was just an awesome photo shoot. It was really incredible. So,
well, there's not a pile of a burned truck in here, so you guys made out okay. It survived, obviously. So, can you do me a favor and all of us a favor? Let us know who's who, which is which in this photograph.
Okay, so the one in the front is Alex, and the one in the back is Jeff.
Okay, all right.
Yes, two brothers. Awesome brothers.
And they run a concrete company, right?
They do. Super good at what they're doing. They're well known.
Massive Mac collection.
And they also own like I'm not good at that, but their concrete machine is quite different of what we're using here typically in Quebec, which I was really surprised. But I saw these machine in the state quite often, so I'm guessing this is this is where they got their machine. But yeah, really good company up there. And by the way, Mark could tell that, but they own so many old truck, and they just bought a new location where they're going to be able to sit some trucks in there. It's actually like a museum. It's really amazing.
Sonya,
Mark, what were some of those trucks, Mark? You mentioned them in the story.
Oh yeah. Well, the couple of the trucks that Jeff told me about, they own the. For those of you who've seen the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, he plays the Lincoln Hawk. He's an arm wrestler, truck driver, and at the end, I'm going to spoil the movie for you, but at the end of the movie, he wins a white conventional WIL with a big custom double eagle sleeper on it, and they own that truck from that movie. They also own a pair of the Mac R models used in the movie Convoy. So,
yeah. And that one will be sitting inside, if I'm correct.
And all these pictures you're sharing, John, those all came from Doug Maney at the Mac Museum. He scanned a bunch of brochures and pictures of different trucks with all-American paint schemes. So we used a lot of those online. And in store.
And by the way, I asked Jeff and Alex, I said, why do you own these trucks? Like, why buying? Like, is it just like passion? And they're just like, when we go online and we see these trucks, we just need to buy them. It's like, okay.
It's addictive, you know. I would be the same way if I had the money to do it. I'd have a collection too.
It's their catcher in the rye. If you've ever...
Well, maybe this is why they work 7 days a week, right? They need to
pay for their toys.
The money to pay for the toys.
you gotta pay to play. It ain't cheap. No. So.
But you know what? For the photo shoot, what is awesome is, and it is always like that in most of the situation where I go for photo shoot, we decided to shoot on site, and right away Alex was like, do you need me to move this? And do you need me to move that? And within like 10 minutes, we had moved trucks and trailers and engines that was sitting on the ground. And literally we clean everything in front of the building in the garage. And it's just like, it always amazed me what I can ask regarding, can we move this? You know, it's enormous and it weighs like so much, but within like minutes, it's just gone. right? So no, it was the same situation. So that was quite superb and really make my job easier.
Sonya, what are you normally doing? I mean, trucks are it's not your thing, right? I mean, so what are you out there doing normally? What are you normally capturing?
Well, 6 days a week I capture weddings. No, I'm joking. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
no. I was going to give you a blessing right here to say, yeah, good deal.
So Mike probably is listening and he's laughing right now because he knows that I'm shooting trucks only. So seriously, 99% of what I'm shooting, and this is my day-to-day job, I shoot trucks.
Okay.
Yes. And actually this year, and it's just a matter of coincidences, like it's not working, but normally I shoot for Mack trucks. So some of the pictures in the calendar, I I do them, and then I shot for Western Star, I shot for Allison, I shot for, who am I shooting for?
Super
Obviously,
you just did
I'm
Super
doing
Rig.
the Super Rig every
Yeah,
year
you just did
for like
Super
the
Rig.
past 7
So,
years. I
I
just
don't know
came
if I-
back from Tennessee.
Yeah, I guess I didn't Dan, I don't know if I caught all of the conversation, but I know parts of it that we talked about. I just didn't get a full picture that this was your full-time gig. So
No, it is. Actually, I do that all year except 2 months where I literally disappear. Like I don't want to shoot during wintertime. I'm not a snow person. I hate cold and I hate snow. So literally most of the time.
Me too.
Yeah, you do. Most of the time we end up in South Africa so I can shoot elephants, which is, another big thing, but it's on legs and not on wheel.
wow.
Elephants that are right there.
Well, that's a whole
So no,
different
it is
deal.
yes, it is. So it is my day job, and I've been shooting trucks for, like I said, almost 20 years now.
Well, congratulations.
And a little sneak preview. Mark will be featuring Sonya in one of his articles in the next edition. So look for that. If y'all want to learn about Sonya, who she is, what she does, Mark's going to get the lowdown and the pictures.
Yeah.
And
we're going to have some fun.
Actually, John, so the Super Rig actually takes us like between 4 to 5 months to do. So it is a big job in the year. And I like this year I was honored with other job first shell. So I have been very blessed with this. Like I love what I do. I end up shooting in quarries, on the road, farm, anything. Like I would find a situation and just like starting to drill, right? I'm gonna go, oh wow, this is awesome. And all the people around me are just like, yeah, seriously? Like this old junk you want to shoot here? I'm like, yes.
quarries are awesome. They're always good.
Quarries are the best. You can shoot 360 around, morning, night, whatever. And then you have trucks coming in and, all the dust and everything. It's hard on the equipment, but who cares?
How long have you been shooting Super Rigs?
Since 2019, actually. Yes.
Wow, pre-COVID.
Yes, pre-COVID. The only year we didn't do it, it was 2020. So yes. So it was quite sad, but it just kept going, and I was really happy to come back on 2021. I'm actually the only photographer who has been shooting the Super Rig more than once, so I'm pretty proud of myself. So sorry.
How is Super Rigs now compared to pre-COVID and post-COVID? How's things looking for them and the show? How did it look?
Well, so far so good. They had a really good show this year. People are really happy. So yes, I think they're working on making it more up to date, and they have great ideas. So I don't want to spoil next
we'll have
year,
a report
but
from that in the next edition too.
there you go. So
Well, we had rubber trucks in there that made it on the calendar. So what goes around comes around. I mean,
I'm still waiting for my Shell Super Rigs calendar. Mike was supposed to send me one. I didn't get one, and maybe Sonya will get me one. I don't know. So
of course I will. I will make that work. Mike, come on.
Well,
Mark,
I'll actually be.
Mine are in French.
I'll be hanging out with Mike here next about a week and a half up at your jammer. So,
Oh,
you guys are getting out there and getting around, man. We're stuck out here on the West Coast right now, so getting prepped for a little thing we have coming up. In case you haven't noticed out there, we got 10-4 Trucker Rodeo coming up here before we know it. The way the clock's running right now, right, Dan?
Comes fast. We're working.
Wait by your mailbox, Mike says. So,
all right.
Back to Sonya. Sonya, what got you into the trucks? I mean, why trucks?
Oh, wow. Why trucks? Well,
yeah.
Long story short, I was living in Guatemala for 4 years, and when we came back, we needed a job. My husband, who was a reporter at that time, started to work for a truck magazine called Transport Magazine here in Quebec. And one day I went to a meeting and I saw the owner of the magazine, and I was flipping the magazine. I'm like, yeah, this is, I almost said garbage, right? Like, why don't you have this client and this client? And I was young and I didn't know what I was talking about. And he was like, well, if you're so good, you can call these clients and make sure they can, advertise in the magazine.
What year was it?
Oh, wow. What year was that? When did I start working for Transport Magazine? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my husband right now because he's better than me at that.
She's only 29, John, so
2006, he says. So basically 20 years ago. Yeah,
okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So anyway, I started to sell advertising for the magazine. And at one point I decided to grab a camera because it was easier for me to just like introduce myself. I was taking a picture and say, oh, by the way, I'm Sonya from Transport Magazine. If you want a picture, please call me. And by the way, I'm going to sell, push my pitch for you to advertise in the magazine. But anyway, I started to do pictures like that, and I did not like what I was offering to people. So I went online, taught myself, did a little bit of Photoshop, and eventually I did a photo shoot for a client because he needed pictures for his trucks, and it just like kept going like that, and taught myself a little bit more going online. And eventually Western Star called the dealership here in Quebec, and they said, hey, we're looking for a photographer. Who would you suggest? And my name came up like 4 times. And they said, well, I guess we're going to call Sonya. And that was my first big gig. That was back then. And then it just like started like that to a point where I let go of the magazine and just started to do the photography full time. And that was like, yeah, I don't remember when, but it was a long time ago.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. There you go.
So when you were shooting for Western Star, did you work with Ann Dimitrik at Western Star?
Yes.
Yeah, she was a very good friend of mine. I knew her for years. So
yeah,
I go back to when she was at Kenworth back in the early 1990s when she started at Kenworth.
Oh, wow.
with Doug Siefke and Jeff Peretti and them guys. So yeah.
Yes. No, people were, people that was working back then, not that they're not nice today, but they were absolutely incredible back in the days at Western Star, the people that I worked with. It was a really good, it was a very good team that I could work with because I was still learning, right? I was in my learning process, how to work with an agency, how to work with a big client. And it was quite, I was so nervous. I was losing my hair and everything. It was something. Today, it's the opposite. It's when people are coming on the photo shoot, they're all nervous. They're like, where do you want me to put the truck? I'm like, first, we're just going to give ourselves, we're going to hug each other. We're just going to breathe and we're just going to have fun. And then we're doing the photo shoot. So, yes.
So
what was your first camera, Sonya? I'm curious. And, where John was talking about the 110 Kodaks and Polaroids back in the day, my first camera was a 110 Kodak. What was your first camera?
Well, my first one, like the real one that I own, I don't remember the brand, but I can tell you that it was a stolen one.
She's a thief.
Not by you.
And literally, bear with me. We were at this touristic place in Detroit because I was living in Windsor, Ontario for a long time, and we were crossing the bridge and going into Detroit, and we were there, and that family just sat there and they were having lunch and everything, and they left. And I turned around and I saw this nice camera on the chair, And I was like, damn, they forgot the camera. So I picked the camera up and we paid, and then we started to walk. And I just told my husband, I said, if we see them, well, we could give them the camera back. And we at one point saw them, but very, very far away, like too far away for me to run. Anyway, so that camera was really awesome because we could do the, how do you call that? The panoramic.
Panoramic.
Yes, thank you. Pictures, but yeah, I could have. Well, even if I was running, probably I wouldn't caught them. So I'm saying stolen, but it's not. It wasn't that stolen. So and then
you permanently borrowed it.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. And then
you put it to good use, though, right? I mean, here we are.
When I started to do photography for real, like back for the magazine, I had a Pentax, and it was already electronic camera. And the funny thing is, I think it cost me like $500, and nobody could touch that camera. It was like, no, you are not going to touch this camera. This is fancy stuff here. And today I run around with like a Z8, and you want to try it? Yep, sure, go. And it's going to be on the ground while I'm positioning the truck and stuff like that. It's a different role. But I shoot with Nikon today. I'm very happy with what I shoot with.
I want to ask you too, getting started in this, and it kind of was a observation. You made it, you saw something that you figured, you know what, there's some room for improvement here. And you could do that. What's your feeling about shooting trucks though? I mean, do you have favorite ones out there? Do you like some more than others? Is there any a relationship? What's your relationship to the trucks now?
Well, my relationship. Okay, so here's what's happening. I don't know why, but I think my dad used to drive trucks. Like my dad was a truck driver, and I didn't have a really like good relationship with him because he was not at home and my parent was separate. So every now and then I could go with him, but we would go in the truck. And the only thing that I remember mostly is the sound. So you can see me on the photo shoot and I can hear the truck coming in and I go, oh, my truck is coming. And it's always mine, right? It's my truck. It's my driver. For the photo shoot, it's all mine. So that's the first relationship that I have. So to be honest with you, when they have a very good sound, and today I have to say, Packard is doing a really good job on that for me. So, Peterbilt and Kenworth and Super Rig stuff. Super Rig stuff is just like, oh yes. And then, to be honest with you, I would say any truck works. As long as I can do art with it. And art for me is putting the truck in its working environment and make it absolutely beautiful. So working with the light, working with dust, working with whatever I have in the surrounding, because we're working with natural environment all the time. And it's not always perfect. Like you think it's going to be nice and, half cloudy, half sunny, and then suddenly it just start to rain. What are you going to do with that? And it's just these challenges. And the funny part about the truck is they never complain that they are fat or their nose is too big or they don't have enough hair on their head. And it's just awesome to work with the truck on Photoshop.
You're speaking Dan language, Danwanese right now, Dan language. I mean, all of these things are probably Dan, don't you feel like these are some of the same things you feel and go through?
Absolutely. I didn't like shooting portraits for a long time. And when Eric and I went on shoots, my partner, he did all that. And I didn't like doing it. And I had to learn to do that after he passed away. And now I think it's one of my strengths, and I enjoy doing it. But for a long time, it's like, people are a pain. Give me a truck. They're easy. They just do what you tell them to do.
Well, the funny part is now that I'm shooting portrait for most of the calendars, because I don't know why I'm stuck with calendars. I do calendars for Mack Truck. I do calendars for dealership here in Quebec. I'm doing calendars for the Super Rig, which is awesome. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but we do need to do portrait. And there's me being sick of the the standard pause just in front of the truck, or sitting on the seat. And so this year you're going to see with the Super Rig, hopefully they will choose these pictures, but I went out of my way to be 2026 with the portrait, and I really enjoyed it. And mostly because I think most of the drivers now are just like having fun doing these portrait, and we're just building this relationship first. We're having fun working with the truck, and then suddenly we're in there's like this little click, and then we're capable of doing the portrait and just having fun and just looking into the camera and just forgetting that the camera is there actually, and just me clicking and getting this emotion. But to come back regarding the truck, I think Dan's he's going to agree with me. I think what's fun with it is making art with something that nobody think that you can make art with. And this is where I come in. I was always dreaming about becoming an artist, and I was very, very technical. I'm a very technical person, and to be artistic, you need to not be that technical. Photography in trucks are giving me that option, and this is where I'm very, very good at.
Dan, you can tell me if you agree, but I saw a little bit of a Stephanie Diesel addict moment there when she was showing her enthusiasm and excitement of hearing a truck, didn't you? I thought, yeah, I mean, there's a kindred spirit there, I think, to Stephanie, and if you don't know Stephanie, Sonya, you guys need to meet. I think you could probably share some excitement about trucks.
Yeah, well, I would love that. I would love that.
She's one of our longtime contributors.
Good. If you want to hear a very funny story, is if we have a moment, if you don't mind.
We do. We're coming up at the top of the hour, but go ahead. We're gonna be 7 minutes till the top of the hour, but you go ahead.
So here's the funny story: is I did a photo shoot for. I'm not going to name the company because I don't think it's going to be good, but this company called me and said, "Hey, we have a new electric refuse truck, and we would like you to take some pictures in Montreal if you don't mind." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So, I'm going to in this neighborhood, knocking at every door, saying, "At that time, between that time and that time, we'll be here on the road doing a photo shoot. If you don't mind, please just put your bin on the street, even though it's not the day that you're supposed to put the bin in." Like, this is an electric truck. You should not hear us. We're not going to bother you. And everybody was just so fine with it. And the next day, I'm there, sunrise, and I'm waiting for the truck. And suddenly I can hear like noise. This noise is just amazing. And I see the truck coming in, and I'm like, why is it that noisy? It's an electric truck, right? It should not make that noise. Yeah. So the driver pulls out. He's just like, I'm like, shut the engine. I cannot deal with that. And he said, yeah, we are having a problem with the AC right now, and it's just making this awful noise. I'm no. What's the purpose of having an electric truck and telling people that it's going to be super quiet when you're just here and it's so noisy? So no, that was not a good sound.
I think there's problematic. The electric truck is not there yet. And listen, anything mechanical is prone to break, so things can go wrong, in all fairness to them. But I'm with you. I'd like to hear the sound of a cat coming up over the hill and pulling up towards me, and then zzz, whatever that is. And so yeah, I get it.
Well, electric trucks will have their purposes.
They're going to be here eventually. Maybe not in our time. Maybe they will. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we
dragged race two of them at TFK one year, and they kind of move pretty good, but they're really boring to watch because they don't make no noise. Yeah. No burnout, just and boring. Well, that was kind of cool. Not.
Yeah, you don't go. Woo!
Yeah, no.
So, and this is something that's really ironic about the whole electric vehicle industry. When some vehicles, and these are performance cars that were built, are putting high performance motor effects through the sound system to enhance the experience in the car. What does that tell you? I mean, yeah, it's just not, we're not ready for all that. But anyway, Sonya, it's been a pleasure to get to know you and share you with our audience and as part of the contributing 10-4 partners. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope my English wasn't that bad.
What? I didn't
It's been
understand.
awesome working with you. You were super professional. I mean, I explained to Sonya in 33 years of doing this, I can honestly say I've never hired a photographer. So I was a little out of my comfort zone, and she made it real easy. It was awesome. And it was great to work with her. I didn't know how those pictures were going to turn out. I hadn't really seen the truck that much. I didn't know what she was going to do. She told me she had problems. I'm like, this is our cover. So everything worked out good. Everything turned out great. We worked well together and it went smooth. And
I think it turned out pretty good.
Absolutely.
It was an honor. Thank you guys. It was an honor. Thank you for calling me. It was fun too. So
we'll look forward to seeing you.
That's thanks to Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Mike, if you're still in there, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Mark, appreciate your time. Thanks for
no problem
for making yourself available, and we'll be seeing you again soon and having you on the show again, I'm sure.
Let's do it. Anytime.
You're going to be having this other deal coming up here pretty soon with Sonya, so I'll be looking.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to her tomorrow morning. We're going to do a little interview and get her in for our Behind the Lens. We've already done one with Chad and with Duncan. We'll get Sonya in here and working on a couple other photographers as well. So,
all right,
we got to do that. We got to do that big Behind the Lens with Dan Linss. What do you think?
Why not? Why not?
I think my story's been told a few times.
Yeah, never.
Here's the hot scoop. Mark's going to Gear Jammer. He's going to the Gear Jammer show. And I forget who you said you could. They might let him drag race down the drag strip.
Anthony Russo said something about about driving a truck down the quarter mile. I don't know if he talked to Bob Conrad or what the deal was, but if it happens, that'd be awesome. If not, then
For anyone out there who maybe doesn't know, Mark, you're 90% impaired on your vision.
I was just going to say, for those that don't know.
For those who don't know, yes, Mark Harter is legally blind. So, and it's funny because I was in Chillicothe and I was hanging out with Bethany Hunt and Chandler Levitt, and I was doing a photo shoot with their trucks. And I was joking with Bethany. I said, "Now you can tell everybody a blind guy did a photo shoot with your trucks." So,
anything's possible, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you two go. Dan, we'll close the show together. Sonya, thank you very much. Mark, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Soon. Thanks, Sonya.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, Mark.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys appreciated that. And always, if there's anything you don't catch in a clear, concise moment while we're doing the show, just come on back and watch it on the playback. As soon as we're done here, it's available on YouTube or on Facebook or on X. And since Facebook kills everything live after 30 days, it will remain available on YouTube. Dan, what's coming up and happening right now with you in the immediate future?
First of all, I have to say the way the sun is going down, is this amazing lighting or what?
Oh, dude. Yeah. All about it.
I got a window up here with getting some light in it. And I'm like, wow, look at how this lighting is amazing.
It's happening, man.
First of all, let's wish Mr. John Jakes a very happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
I believe he's still hanging around over here. So happy birthday, John. Hope you had a good day and are enjoying your retirement.
Yep. I shot him a happy birthday earlier today, and I thought to myself, the guy's not even driving anymore. He's no trucker no more. He's not trucking no more. So happy birthday, John. Hope you had a good day today and you're having fun. So are we rodeo mode yet, or are we lightly there? What are we doing?
Yeah, I had a few days off for the 4th, had some family over and took a few days off to celebrate our anniversary. So I've been out of the picture for a few days. So trying to get back into the groove, back in the saddle. And one of the things that is on my list is get that rodeo flyer done and start promoting that and get it going. We have a few things we have to work out before we can finalize that. But yeah, I wouldn't say we're in full court mode, but we're definitely working on some of the back stuff. I will say we have confirmed and gotten confirmation that we can do it. We will be having a barbecue on Friday. So for the trucks that enter early or, on Friday, we're going to feed somewhere between 200 and 225 people. Hopefully we'll feed everybody. I don't know if that's going to be enough to feed everybody. Last year, we parked 180 trucks on Friday, but there was no food available because the concessions weren't open because it wasn't an actual show day. Right. So we thought, let's offer some good old-fashioned barbecue like we used to do at Trucking for Kids. And so my friend Glenn's going to come in and help me, and we're going to cook up a dinner and be serving that on Friday at no charge for the people who are there, to as many people as we can. So that'll be kind of fun.
Is it like before? We've got the usual suspects also involved.
Who are the usual suspects?
Well, you have Vic Kaliba, who was sponsoring the meat.
Well, we haven't got that far yet. We may have a sponsor for this barbecue, but that's about as far as we've gotten. So we're very early stages. I just got the okay for it day before yesterday.
Well, that's freaking awesome. That makes me very happy. That was a big part of what was going on there at Trucking for Kids for so many years. Yeah. Now we can do it. I wish
that I could do it with Glenn. I mean, Shannon and I did it all those years at TFK, and it was amazing and fun, but it was more work than we'd ever done all year. It was the most work we'd ever do. And now that we're running the show and do it, which is the most work we ever do, can we do two things of the most? Probably not. So I'll probably just help. Glenn will have a little crew of people, and we'll get a few people recruited to help him, and I'll maybe help him when I can. But it ought to be fun.
Good deal. Well, I know everybody was talking it up at TFK. The rodeo is what they're looking forward to coming to next and being at, or at least down the road. Some shows obviously in between now and then, but for us, that's where we're going to end the year and close it down, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Subscriptions, everybody. If you haven't got your magazine yet, if you haven't got your subscription yet, get a subscription. You'll have your magazine. I got mine. You can get yours. We get them pretty religiously the first of the week of the new release. So get subscribed. There's Gene. Hi, Gene.
Hey, Gene.
Good to have Gene on the
Mama
show.
Gene.
Yep, Mama Gene. Our HR.
Nice. Watch out. HR's paying attention. Watch out.
Exactly. All right, Senor, I'm out. I will look forward to talking to you next couple of days. We get a chance to chat. Otherwise, we'll see you when we see you, right?
We'll dig up some of those old Macs. We'll figure it out.
Oh, do that. That would be cool. I will post that up for our Big Rig Throwback Thursday. And that would be fun to do, man. I would love to see it. How many of those old Macs and we've had some beautiful Mac trucks. I mean, who was the guy that used to show up in that old red classic Mac in Irwindale every year? I haven't seen him out since we moved the show north. Have you? I don't think he's been out.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
You don't remember? I'll bring it up when I go through and look for a couple of things. But no, there's no shortness of Macs, and definitely no shortness of love for a Mac truck for me. I broke into this industry in a Ford and a Mac. Two of the most, like, what are you talking about? It's not a Peterbilt, not a Kenworth. What are you doing? Well, hey, Burkett, what's going on, man? Old Rich Burkett in there. All right, Dan. Take care, buddy. Right. We'll see y'all later. Keep the shiny side up and stay safe out there, everyone. We'll
Happy
be back.
July.